Welcome to the Primo's Musings podcast.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of welcoming today Erika Moe, who recently played in the U.S. Open Junior Girls Doubles match, and also her mother and coach, Erika Moe. And for those who don't know, Erika was not only my son's coach, but she was also our 4 tennis team coach. And Kai is someone I've known for a very long time as a young 10-year-old. I think I want to say something very nicely here, which is, I don't know if she said one day she asked me if she wanted to be on the high school team, but I think she doesn't have to be on the high school team. I think she's actually not only, I think you're number one in New England and number 5 in the country. I did my research. And the other thing is that I also wanted to talk about, like, both what inspired you to play and also and Erika from a coaching standpoint. So let's quickly start. Maybe Kaya, a little bit about yourself so that everyone knows who you are. Everybody knows, we all know who you are, but and then Erika, maybe a little introduction too.
Sure.
Go ahead, Kaya.
Yeah. Hi, this is Kaya. I'm 17. I've been from Connecticut, living here my whole life. I do online school and I travel a lot for tennis. Tennis is my life. So yeah.
And you're headed to University of Auburn, right?
I
Verbally
am,
committed.
yes. Next fall.
Yes. Next fall. Perfect. And Erika, a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Sri, for having us. My name is Erika Moe. I grew up in Southern California, started junior tennis there, played college tennis at Iowa State, started teaching immediately after that. Have 2 daughters, Kaya, who's 17, Karina is 15. Started them as soon as they could walk, and introduced them to tournaments, and it's been a heck of a ride so far. So, yep.
Yep. So I think one thing is that I got to watch, at least your match, Kaya. Thanks, Erika. And it was good. And the one thing I was really enjoying it, and it's something I commented to a couple of my tennis friends, was that how much you enjoyed being on the court. And that was so great. I mean, I know the first set didn't start the way you guys wanted to. I think you guys were down 4-0.
Yep.
And I think I saw the camera pan. I saw Erika. I saw you, Karina, and your husband. And then, but the thing is that what's more important, like you're really having fun. I wanted to ask you, like, what was your most memorable moment for you during the U.S. Open?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for watching my match. That means a lot, the support from home. Definitely, it was so special just like walking on the court for the first time with my partner. We were guided to our court with security and they were like pushing people to the side. It was really funny. That was just so special. And just like walking on the court and all like seeing all my family and like my coach, obviously my mom and Coach Jim and just everyone that's been a huge part was like just there, and it was so special.
Yeah, and then how did it feel like stepping on the court for the first match? Did you have any nerves? I mean, how was it going through? What was going through your mind?
I was definitely nervous for sure. But I think that was kind of suppressed, just because I was so excited and happy. I think if it was singles, it would have been a little different, but with doubles, I'm very close with my partner. So knowing that like she was in the same boat with me, I think that helped.
Yeah, and I think, Erika, a question for you though.
Sure.
Everything I know, it requires a lot of sacrifice. You've been through a lot. How did you and just your family support, Kaya's preparation and mindset leading up to this U.S. Open? And I'm sure she's been to multiple tournaments, but this is special, and this
Oh,
is
yeah.
amazing.
This was definitely special. And, we have our routines for the typical national tournaments or the junior ITFs, but when you're talking about a junior Grand Slam, that's a whole new level. And it's something I never experienced as a player. So, I was trying to make sure I didn't show my nerves too much for her. But there was the Chase Center where the players are able to eat, and it's exclusively just for players and coaches. And she and her doubles partner, Carrie Ann, were sitting at a table, and I took that moment to go over there, and I said, hey, I just need 3 minutes of your time. I just want to tell you guys, how proud I am of you. And I'm so excited that you guys get to have your first Grand Slam experience together. Trust each other, believe in each other. You guys deserve to be here. And I said, the court dimensions are exactly the same that you're used to day in and day out. So just go out there and enjoy it and play well and have no regrets.
Yeah, I think it kind of resonated when I was watching the match. Definitely resonated. I think even though you guys were down, you knew that you were in the game, and you kind of started working your way. And once you got that 4-1, and then 4-2, 4-3, 4-4, and even in the tiebreaker, it was so close. It was five. I believe it was 5-all in the tiebreaker, and it was pretty close. I mean, you guys went down. I think it was 4-1. I think in the tiebreaker, and then came back, and it was 5-all. So I was watching all these points. And, it was made me really proud, Kaya, to actually, not many people know it. I just stood on the court when Kaya was playing with the boys at U18. So, I mean, they already knew how to play tennis. So it's like, what am I going to coach? But it was a proud moment for me. And I remember telling you many years ago, I don't know if you remember, I said, maybe one day when you play at the US Open, I would like to come and watch. I know I was not able to watch. I was able to come watch it on TV. So it was awesome. But quick question for you, Kaya. I mean, one of the things, did you get a chance to meet any of your tennis idols at the US Open?
I did not actually. I was kind of looking like at least to get a picture with someone, but I think because it's later in the U.S. Open, there are just so few
Yeah,
players left.
yeah,
I did get to practice next to a bunch of wheelchair players though, which I've never seen that in person, so that was
yeah.
really cool. They're very talented and strong.
Absolutely, because every time we go on this men's semifinal, one of the things we do is that we watch the women's doubles. I think tomorrow Taylor Townsend is going to be there. I'm excited on the Armstrong Stadium, and then we go and watch the wheelchair, and we actually watch a lot of juniors. So it's just incredible, how you're prepared for this. So, quick question: Who and I mean, of course, I mean, I know you got your racket when you were born. I guess who and what inspired you to start playing tennis?
Who inspired me? Sorry, you cut
Yeah,
out for a second.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who inspired you to start playing tennis?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's always been my mom for sure. Yeah, it was just tennis was always just a part of my life, and my mom, she actually asked me if I wanted to try other sports, and I was just like, no, not really. It was just me. It just like defines me and who I am.
Yeah. Erica, question for you. I know it's always some of the biggest challenges that you guys face balancing all the different, not just the US Open, but different tournaments. I know you guys are headed to another tournament to Canada,
Yep.
but watching the tournament schedule and family, school, all the other things, social life that comes with it.
It's not easy. We haven't been on a family vacation in years. And tennis doesn't have an off season. And so you can choose to skip events, but then if that's an event you should have been at, you're missing opportunities for points or wins against different players and or just the exposure. So the online school gives the flexibility. Obviously, they take it with them on the road and they're doing school, whether we're in an airport or a hotel or the tournament site. But Jeff and I find a way. We've got two girls playing, and Karina has been doing the national tournaments and now is starting into the ITFs. And we constantly we tag team, so I will go with Kaya this week to Canada. Jeff will travel with Karina, and then the next time we'll probably flip. It's good for them, to have
Yeah.
exposure to both parents, and there's no favoritism, right? So,
Yeah.
but there
Yeah.
are some events where both girls can play at the same place. And so if that's the case, then if Jeff's able to, then the four of us can go
Yeah.
together. And so at least it's family time. So
Yep. Yep. I think that's like your family vacation, but yeah,
yeah,
but I think it's
basically.
it's a lot of yeah, but it's a lot of sacrifice. It's amazing, and what you have done. And one thing is that obviously she has played a lot of high stakes matches, US
Mhm.
Open is as high as it could get, Grand Slam. How do you handle your nerves or emotion? Because I was watching the TV just panned it, and you're as calm and cool as collected. I know you for a very long time. So how do you handle your nerves? Because it's funny because I'll tell you, I listen to Andy Roddick's podcast regularly, and Tracy Austin was on today, and she said something about she didn't care when she played, but when she sees her kids play, she said that she's very nervous. So I want to ask your experience on that.
Yeah, so that specific match, my partner and I are very close off court, and we get along. We just are a great team on court. So we wanted this match to be special, and we wanted it to be remembered that it was a great experience and we had a lot of
Yeah,
fun. So I think that helped
yeah,
take the pressure off a little bit. Obviously, we
mm,
were playing the 5 seeds, so they're the ones with more pressure, anyways. But just in
yeah,
general, I try to just like think of one point at a time and not necessarily the score or like if it's the finals or whatever. I just try to have my own routine and focus on the next point.
yeah, yeah. And how did you, Erica, how did you handle your nerves and emotions watching Kaya and her partner play?
Um, I I was a little bit of a stress ball before the match. Once they started, to be honest, it felt like even though, the surrounding is there and it was weird having music like just on the other side of the court and, you know, you it felt like a match, and I've been doing
Mm,
this for so long with both girls, and because I'm focusing on them, not necessarily, what's at stake or what type of event it was. So before they walked onto the court, I mean, I have to admit I got a little teary-eyed with the walking with the escort because that was something just different.
yeah,
But once they started playing, I just kind of fell into it like it's a match. So,
yeah, yeah. No, I like I said, it's very tough to see on TV. I mean, obviously, when you see the major tennis players play and you have their family, it's
Mhm.
always tough to see what goes on. But I think, but I think I know you for a long time. You're very calm, cool, and collected, but it's tough. And I'm watching your child play,
Oh yeah.
especially in the US Open. And I mean, I'm sure it comes in. I mean, she plays a lot of national tournaments and it's always a lot of pressure just watching it.
Mhm.
But this is high as it gets. But I think she did amazing. I'm very proud of what she has achieved, and I think you're going to go and achieve even more. I'm rooting for you. So keep me posted on what's going on. But quick question: what's your Kaya? What's your pre-match routine or preparation like before? Not just before the U.S. Open, but your typical routine that you go through. Is there like any superstition? Is there any routine that you go through?
I'm not like a very superstitious person, but I definitely have like my dynamic warm up that I do like on court or off court depending, and then I usually will practice for 30 to 45 minutes on court with a friend, or if not then
Mm,
maybe my mom. And then I always eat a banana, but that's not my choice, but I always have a banana, and then I'll usually have like a granola bar or something else just to like keep the energy going. And
mm.
yeah, I'll just like keep being on my feet and won't really like sit down, let my body cool off. Like I'll just like always be ready to go on.
Yeah, cool. So I did want to ask a little bit. I know I've known you from many years, playing in Farmington Valley, and I know
Mhm.
just a quick thing about, I know you're part of many clubs or, you have different coaches. And then what clubs and academies that, you currently train with and, how have they contributed to the growth,
Mhm.
Kaya?
So RFL Simsbury is where I train and where my mom works. That's where I am for all of my practices. I don't go to any other clubs anymore. But along with my mom, there's Coach Jim, and he's been like a great big part. And both of them have put together like a high performance group that has really helped me like with with a good like group of like
It's like,
surrounding people with me that are
Yeah,
also like they're very supportive and they're like family
right.
at this point.
yeah, it takes a village tree. And, we were picky with like, okay, we need someone who's a lefty. We need someone who's a serving volleyer. We need someone who's going to hit a heavy topspin ball and someone who's
Mm,
super aggressive. And, it's been a lot of fun putting that together because these are all guys and girls that played
Good.
college tennis back in the day, and they're still playing in like their 5-0 leagues, and it's a
Mm.
win-win because my girls get the exposure to all the different types of players, and for that the guys, they love it because the girls never get tired, and so they, whenever we're traveling, they're texting us all the time, hey, good luck to the girls, and it's been a great community.
Yep. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask you, Kaya, was that do you have like obviously unfortunate that I know there's a Sabalenka and Pegula match going on at the same time, and I didn't even think about it, but I'm rooting for Pegula and Anisimova, obviously. But any professional players that you kind of model your playing style or mentality from, Kaya?
Well, I just love watching Sabalenka play. I think she's super aggressive, and I try to be an aggressive player myself. More like mentality, I kind of have my own routines, but like I like to be on the calmer side, more like in the mental, but obviously it's different because I like to be loud and like get energy, so it's kind of a mix. I can't think of a player that does that on the top of my head. But yeah, definitely Sabalenka, but I am rooting for the Americans as well.
Yeah. No, I think it's funny you should say that. I think the last time I remember we played in a holiday tournament and you beat me and Andy pretty handily. I think I remember that. So I was telling somebody at my friend and I said, and they said, "Oh, you know somebody who played in the US Open?" I said, "Yeah, and I also got beaten by them, so I know how it feels." And but that's good. Um, the key is like, how do you handle a lot of the challenges and pressure during high level matches? I know two things, right? I mean, you play the U.S. Open, you play with a partner, but when you play a singles match, how do you handle that? Especially, because I know you're also a top-notch singles player.
I try to not focus on my surroundings or the things I can't control, and I just try to think about myself and like what I can do. It also helps when I have someone like my mom there who knows the game herself, and I can just look to her or just like find someone if it's not my mom, if it's like my dad or a family friend or whoever's there watching, and I can just focus on them and then on myself and again like the next point.
Yep. No, absolutely, absolutely. So the question is that I wanted to ask you this, Erica.
Sure.
Obviously, tennis is all about wins and losses, right? Sometimes you have, look at what happened with Anisimova because she lost in the
Right.
Wimbledon, she comes back and win. How
Yep.
do you like, obviously there'll be some great wins, there'll be some losses too. How do you handle it when she goes through like a tougher loss or something like that? How do you like kind of coach her up to do, to kind of like focus on the next
As far
game
as like
or
bouncing
next
back,
match?
like bouncing
Bouncing
back.
back, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Everybody has bad losses, and in the singles, one person's going to win, one person's going to lose. And my thing is, you're unfortunately with the sport, you're not going to play your best game at every match. It's impossible. And style matchups, it could be, weather conditions, it could, who knows, or maybe,
yeah,
something
yeah,
happened in your personal life and it's messing with you a little bit. You hope that with every loss, you learn something, and
sure,
that you just have to realize how many wins you've had. And yes, you're going to lose. And as long as you tried your best and
yeah,
they played better than you that day, that's going to happen. And the level of tournaments she's playing, everybody's good. So, you respect your opponent and never underestimate anybody. And, you know, you take a loss and go, okay, yeah, it sucks and it stings a little bit, but she's really good about, it might sit with her for a little while, but then already by nighttime, it's like, all right, kiddo, your next event is, in a week or two. Let's go get some ice cream. Let's chill out and, back to the practice grind. So
yep. And I think she's always been that way. She always had that, the smiley face that she would just come in, she would
yeah,
play, have fun, and it never changed. So that's awesome to hear. And then the other thing is that I wanted to ask you is that what are the things that you've seen? Like, and obviously you've seen her since she's been, a little kid. But what are the things that you've seen over the last 3, 4 years, Erica, in terms of her improvement? What aspects of the game has improved in her playing style?
Well, when she was younger, she was extremely patient. And, back in the day with playing with orange ball and having a 200 ball rally with her opponent, and my husband and I are sitting there going, oh my God, this point is lasting forever. And having, she had a growth spurt, she became physically stronger, transforming her into more of an aggressive style player. Developing a strong second serve. Her net game has improved tremendously. And that's really, I have to give credit to the guys she hits with. But she's learned, she did not like doubles back in the day. And now she absolutely thrives on it. And it has helped her singles game. So, stepping into the ball, taking time away from her opponents, those have been kind of the key things.
Yeah. And then, Kaya, what do you think have improved in your game? I mean, I heard your mom's viewpoint. What did you think has improved in your game? And
Yeah,
how have you approached it over the years? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think I've developed like my own style instead of just being definitely a baseliner, like serve volleyer. I feel like I have developed my own way of playing and how I like to play. I like to hit on the rise. I think that's maybe because of the indoor tennis up here in Connecticut, but hitting on the rise a lot, trying to work more on like coming in because I do love doubles and I do like my volley, so just working on just taking time away from my opponent and being able to play the way I want to play.
Yeah. I wanted to ask one more thing about the court that you played on. Obviously, it's a US Open court. How different was it playing in like another hard court? So now, of course, every club that you play in, whether it's like I know RFL, slower courts, we go to Farmington Valley, faster courts, Pinewoods, even faster courts. Again, these are different courts. How did the court how was the speed of the court and how did you adjust to it?
I would not call it fast, but I think a couple of my friends were calling it like on the faster side, but maybe
Hmm.
not for me just because of what I'm used to. I would say it was more average speed, but obviously like the green behind you was huge. You have so much space back there. Obviously, you have a couple ball kids, so you have to avoid them maybe. So there
Hmm.
are more people. Yeah, it's bigger. I mean, I know my mom was saying like the court dimensions are the same. The blue,
Yeah.
the green
Yeah.
was much bigger.
Right. So I know you just completed the US Open. So what are your goals for kind of like, and obviously you're going to another tournament in Canada. I think you mentioned your goals for next season and future Grand Slam events. I know it's not easy to get there, but what is your kind of a goal? Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to play the U.S. Open again, but get into main draw for singles as well. I do have next year to try one more year for the juniors at least.
Hmm.
I have a goal of getting to the top 100 ranking for ITF, and I think after that, I'd love to see like how far I can go. But I feel like that's a very achievable goal, and yeah, we all have our reach goals, and then we have our goals that we like know we can get. So, I feel like Grand Slams, like the experience is just great, and I would love to try for other ones.
Absolutely. Hey, one thing is that, Eric, I was going to ask you this because, tennis sometimes, especially when you're playing singles, it's a lonely sport, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So when she's playing on the court, and it's tough. Obviously, you want to get down and play, obviously, but how do you handle that part? I mean, how do you handle? Is there like because you also coach her, right? So is it something is coaching allowed in the regular other tournaments?
So the USTA tournaments, no, but the
No,
ITF
right? Yeah,
tournaments, the higher level ones, once
yeah.
the match is chaired, if there is a chair ump, then you're allowed to do coaching. Um, they never came to us in that match. They were on their own. I mean, Carrie Ann's coach was sitting next to me, and we were just basically just giving words of encouragement and not trying to coach them really. They were kind of in their own headspace, and so we didn't want to interrupt that. But coaching is allowed. but the players kind of have to come to us because we don't want to yell across the court so that the whole world hears it. But yes, it is allowed if the match is chaired.
Yeah. I wanted to ask the same question to both of you when it comes to balance, right? Balancing between tennis, school, and social life. So how do you balance that, Kaya? And I'll ask the same question. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I have a pretty set schedule, which that definitely helps me balance my tennis and homework. I'm able to just hop up upstairs of RFL or tennis club and work on my computer, and I think it helps that my sister's doing it as well. So Karina and I just do our work together, so it is less lonely. And like regarding social life, my social life is basically at tournaments. When I go to tournaments, we always try to go to dinners with my friends and just hang out with them at the hotel or whatever. So I
Yeah.
I do think it's hard, but when you have a schedule, like everything just falls into place.
Yeah. And it looks like it's a very close-knit, the tennis family itself is a very close-knit family because you see the same players over and over again and same
Yeah.
tournaments. I think it kind of becomes like that's why when you see a lot of the American tennis players, you see them that they're all played when they were younger and they kind of
Mhm.
travel around. They see the same people. So no, that's good. And Erica, how about you though? I mean, I think do you help her with the homework or is it like she's on
Oh
her
God,
own?
no. She's as a senior now, that stuff is way beyond me. Stuff that she's learning I haven't touched in years, so I can't help her with that at all. But obviously if the girls ever need if they needed a tutor, we would, obviously try to work on that with them. But as far as like she said, anywhere we travel to for tournaments, there's typically reaching out to a set group of parents or players and, hey, what hotel are you staying at? And you're setting up multiple practice hits leading up to a tournament, and then you see each other at breakfast in the morning at the hotel, and then okay, let's go grab dinner together. And sometimes if a lot of the parents will be working from the hotel, and so let's carpool, and so that parent can stay at the hotel for a little bit if they're going to go practice. And so we all try to help each other out because we're all in the same boat. The kids are driven and motivated to do well, and they've known each other for quite a few years, and we're all sacrificing the same thing. So we get it, we understand each other, but we make sure that they have some downtime as well in between matches.
Yep, no, absolutely. And then I did ask Kai about some of the, what do you want to do? But what are your, kind of your short-term goals, long-term goals for Kaya?
Well, I know that it was a goal was to try to play one of the Grand Slams, so we can check that off our list. But I would obviously love to see her play singles. She actually was going to be a qualifier, but we had to withdraw her due to the previous Canadian tournament, and that's another story. So I was happy that she got the wild card for doubles. So now that we all got a taste of it, just like Kaya, I would love to see her have that experience again. And now we know, all the stuff that gets done behind the scenes, because that was a new experience for all of us. And it was a little stressful to make sure we were getting everything done correctly. But now we're aware of it. And so that would be a goal, is to see if she can play, singles at one of the next four. And but she's got the next three tournaments are the short-term goal, and hopefully she does well there, and that ups her chances.
Yeah. Well, the other question I wanted to ask was the Grand Slams. Is the qualifying kind of very similar to each of the Grand Slams, or a US Open does it differently than other Grand Slams?
As far as I know, the qualifying is the same. So she went directly. There's no qualifying for doubles. It's just straight main draw. But for singles, there's qualifying, and that's all ranking based. So she's close. So she's got at least 3 more tournaments the remainder of 2025. So if she does well, she'll up her ranking, and hopefully that ups her chances of potentially the Australian.
Cool. So this was absolutely total fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it too, because
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm learning a lot. I mean, like I said, known you for a very long time, and I think I'm rooting for you and your sister, and of course, Erica, Jeff, you guys all, I've known you guys for a very long time. And Erica, do you still do the, when you're up 30 love, you should win that game routine for us?
That's true, right? Come on.
It's funny, even when we play very recreationally, we always say, "What would Erica say?" You know, at 30 love. So I always remember that. You've taught us well. But I really think that, Kaya, I mean, really proud of you, really proud of the journey you've taken, and also how you've done it. I think that's more important. And then, Erica, your support, and like I said, the family support, as long as the entire family that support, has been incredible in terms of how it has, kind of had that family dynamics, it contributed to the player growth, contributed to the support that you guys have provided, and keeping the holistic, heart development, which is a central and paramount to it. So I'm incredibly proud of what you've done, and I'm looking forward to it. Maybe one day, this time I'm not going to watch it on TV. I'm actually going to come live and come and watch it.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah,
So
next
yeah,
year.
next year for sure. But I think in the meanwhile, obviously, you have committed to Auburn, so that's along this one. I wanted that. Let's finish up with that. I'm sure you got recruited by every college out there. So, what made you or choose Auburn?
Yeah, it was great. My visit there was great. I really connected with the team and with the coaches, and I think it just all like made sense. I can't really explain it. It was like a gut feeling for me. I just like could really picture myself there for the next 4 years, and I think that's definitely what made my decision very clear.
Cool, cool. No, thanks again. So this is what we'll do, and I think I really appreciate both of you. And typically, what I do is like I'll hit the stop button and then just wait for a bit, and then
Sure.
we'll do that. But it has been a pleasure having you both. Thanks for your time. I know you have a very busy schedule, and good luck, not just for the Canada tournament, but for the rest of your Grand Slam journey and other
Thank you.
matches as well. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you so
Good
Sheree.
much.
night.
Thanks for
Good
having
night.
us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Primo will be back soon.